Good evening, Leeds. Well, what a pleasure it is to be here with this enthusiastic audience. And I know for most of you, it's not only the first time you've been to a Reform event, but probably the first ever political event you've been to in your lifetimes. And that's because, like me, you are genuinely concerned about what's happening in our country, and we need to turn around the mess of economic decline, societal decline, frankly, a failure of leadership across both parties, broken promises. We now need leaders and politicians that believe in putting the British people first and are unafraid to take on the left-wing challenge. And that's us. That's us. A story that you've probably not heard this week because it's not been reported. And that shows you how broken Britain is. That things happen now that 5 or 10 years ago would have caused outrage, but now they're part of everyday life. Did you know that 1,000 young men, undocumented males, have crossed the English Channel in the last week? In the last week. It doesn't even make the news anymore. And should we be concerned? Well, here in Leeds, you've got nearly 2,000 people being housed at public expense, men who cross the English Channel, and once they get accepted to stay, go straight to the list. I'm sorry. You throw your documents into the English Channel so that we can't identify you. Under a Reform government, it won't be a 4-star hotel. It won't be 3 meals a day. You will, quite rightly, be detained and deported. End of story. And that is what is right and what is fair. But of course, Boris said he'll stop the boats. Rishi said he'd stop the boats. Keir Starmer said he'd smash the gangs. Is he not the worst Prime Minister we've ever had in our lifetime? Keir Starmer, inaction man. A follower and not a leader. But none of them will do anything because they're hidebound to the European Convention on Human Rights, which our judges use to stop us deporting people. We will leave the European Convention on Human Rights. And it matters ever more. Just 2 days ago, there was a terror attack in North London. You saw it on the news. 4 ambulances paid for by the Jewish community, but available for the whole community, an important point, set fire to, firebombed by a group who've already committed terrorist outrages in the Netherlands, in Belgium, and in Greece. They are directly linked to the Iranian IRGC. And what does the Prime Minister say? He says his thoughts and prayers are with the Jewish community. We should be prescribing as illegal terrorist organizations radical, fundamental Islamic terrorist groups like the IRGC, the Muslim Brotherhood, and establishing the proper rule of law in our country. But he won't do it. He won't do it. And the other thing that amazes me is the sheer depth of utter ignorance about economics on both front benches. Net zero. We're all going to bow down to the God of net zero. Don't believe in religion anymore, believe in net zero. What did Boris say? We're going to become the Saudi Arabia of wind. Well, he was quite good at wind, wasn't he, really? And now we have mad Red Ed from down the road in Doncaster. And they tell us we'd be no better off if we produced our own oil and gas in this country. So do you think the oil that comes out of the ground thousands of miles away is loaded into a tanker, crossed thousands of miles, unloaded? Do you think that's the same price as the spot oil price? We've been paying in the last week $150 to $160 a barrel to import oil into this country that we could have produced for less than $100 a barrel. We could be producing natural gas to make us self-sufficient, to make us an exporter, to give people cheaper energy bills. But these idiots, and they are idiots, in both of those parties insist we're better off importing fuels from all over the world. We're better off closing our steel plants, closing our chemicals businesses, closing our refineries, all because we now have reduced CO2 more than any other country. All we've done is to export the emissions of CO2. It is an act of economic harry-carry, and whilst I care, of course, as we all do, about the environment, I want us to become self-sufficient in oil and gas. I want cheap energy prices and the best for our country. It's unbelievable. And the same goes for business. 24 men and women in the Labour cabinet. Some of them, of course, are very clever. Our Chancellor. Well, she's a Leeds MP, isn't she? She's representing some of you. I like that. Not for long. I like that. You're absolutely right. You keep the heckles coming. That's fine. No, she's clever. She was 10 years a senior economist at the Bank of England. Not one of those 24 has set up their own business. Not one of those 24 knows what it's like to make monthly payroll. There are 5.7 million men and women in Britain running their own businesses, acting as sole traders. There are millions of people who get up early every morning to their alarm clocks and go to work and pay ever more taxes to see the people next door choosing not to work, getting up at midday, Deliveroo bringing the food, and smoking dope for the afternoon. We are... You keep your private habits to yourself, all right? We will be the party of small and medium-sized businesses, of shopkeepers and of hard workers. We will. Well, we'll be on their side because we understand the threats and challenges that they face. Britain is broken. Nothing works. Try and get a GP appointment. Try and drive to Manchester at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nothing works. But until you actually recognise that, until you get the diagnosis, you can't begin to cure it. Kemi says Britain's not broken. Keir says Britain's not broken. We say it is, and because we understand that point, we're prepared to be radical in all of these areas to turn it around. Now let's look at Leeds for a moment. Let's look at West Yorkshire for a moment, where you've got a big set of elections going on here in South Yorkshire and indeed in Hull, where I'll be on Monday. This city is £2.6 billion in debt. The daily interest payments on Leeds' debt, daily interest payments for Leeds are £300,000 a day. Can you believe it? The place is completely bankrupt. Now, we've only got 35 seats up of the 99 this year, in which Reform will be trying hard in every single one of them. And we can't win the council given those numbers. But we can at least begin to bring a voice for common sense. Elsewhere in this county, where they're all-out elections, I believe we have every chance of winning in Barnsley in South Yorkshire, in Wakefield just down the road. And we are going to make a real dent. Now, I've got in front of me some of the candidates from those constituencies. I'm going to ask them to come up on the stage to join me. So can we start that process, candidates, right now? Someone show them the way to go. And as they file up, I want to say this. I came back into politics 20 months ago, having been retired. I'd fought for years to get Britain out of the European Union. I thought we should be a free, independent, self-governing nation. And when that was done, I thought, that's it, I've done my bit. But I came back into politics because I cannot abide where the Uniparty has taken us. I cannot abide the thought of all the sacrifice of those that went before us, leading to us, frankly, going down the tubes as a nation. So I threw myself back into the political fray. And in 20 months, folks, in 20 months, we've gone to the top of the opinion polls. We've actually led the last 200 opinion polls in a row, and the establishment are terrified of us. Terrified of us. They throw daily abuse at me of the most extraordinary kind. And I take that as a compliment. But the real success of this, are they filing through? Come on, let's be having you. As Delia Smith once said. Right, they coming? Right, keep going. Move, move, move. There's a lot of you. Keep going. These are the men and women standing for us in council all over West and South Yorkshire. These are the people who've made the decision to do the same thing that I decided to do 20 months ago. These people have put their heads up over the parapet. These people are keen to represent their local communities. These people recognise that in the 10 councils that Reform won last year, our council tax rises are lower than the other parties, that we are cutting expensive expenditure, wasteful expenditure in local government, like DEI departments. Enough. In the end, we don't need any of that. And the only reason in 20 months from coming back into politics that I've been able to lead Reform from where it is now to the top of the opinion polls is because people like this have decided they'll join, they'll make a commitment because they believe in their country, they believe in their communities, and they know that if nothing is done, we could represent the last chance this country has got to restore sanity and order. And so, I say to you, are you prepared in this audience to do something? Yes. Are you prepared to do your little bit to help us? Yes. You can join us. You can make phone calls for us. You can deliver leaflets for us. Or you can, when the time comes, do what these folks have done and put yourself up to campaign for public office. And the reason I'm imploring this of you is I know there is still in this country a majority of people who have common sense, a majority of people who believe in a nation. And if the silent majority fails to stand up and fails to speak, we are headed for economic and social disaster. So that is my message, folks, to you tonight. I know you've come along, not as members, not as people that have ever been before. You've come along, you're kind of reform curious. Are you converted? Yes. Will you help us? Yes. Will you join these great people and let's have huge electoral success? You stand back a bit. Very, very good. Now look, stand back.